Hello everyone. I did in fact manage to make it down and decided to dig straight down after mining a little bit, killing a boss, and getting this nice pair of boots. So as I was doing some mining, looking through recipes and so on, I noticed that the crushed ores don't all have the tooltips they should. This is the tooltips they should have, and it's different based on, if it's a compound ore or what tier the ore is. However, the create ores don't have the tooltips anymore. So I believe that is due to the fact that they're named differently than they were. I'm also testing out windowed mode because I noticed the screen was going black between the Visual Studio Code editor and the Minecraft window. So let's see what happens. So my goal is to fix it so that it looks like this. So I'm pretty sure it's because of, like I said, the item name. So this is called create crushed raw zinc. So if we go to the tooltip file, which I've already navigated to, create, how I have it set up right now, what it's looking for is crushed, or create crushed zinc ore. But what it needs to be able to find is crushed raw zinc. So I'm going to remove the ore. I'm going to put raw in the middle there, and we'll go from there. Now, the downside is this is, yeah, crushed. Yeah, okay, there we go. So this should work. So now what I'm going to do, I saved it already. I'm going to reload the tooltips, and then I'm going to reload the game. Now, if that is actually the problem, we should see the tooltips are fixed. They are not fixed. Now, it could be because I did the wrong one. Let's see. Ponder tags, client scripts, tooltips. Okay, so that is not it. I'm going to have to do some more digging. But oh, okay. Yeah, that probably was it. I just forgot to do the null check. This is a lot of coding as well, is just to kind of see what works. So in this case, this part of the code checks to make sure the item exists. And then if it does exist, then it gives that item the tooltip. So I'm going to reload again, reload. You'll be able to see it's not there anymore. No Quicksilver ore. Alright, so I'm going to add that to the change log and be back. As I was rewatching the recording, I also noticed that I had my in-game volume a little too high. So that's been lowered. Hopefully that's better. It was only really noticeable for like breaking grass and things like that, but it's still pretty annoying. So for the ore processing that I've come up with, there's essentially two different lines. There's processing and refining, which you can see if we go to a regular tooltip. You can see that the processing is on the left and the refining is on the right. Refining is how it's multiplied. Now, every processing or every refining tier needs the previous tier before it can be smelted. Like, as you can see, washed zinc can be smelted, and it can also be crushed into dust. So it's like a cash out place. But if we process this again into chunks, which as you can see is the one after crushed, then it can be refined into 4x. So that's crumbled like I showed last episode, and this cannot be smelted. It must be refined to level 1 before smelting. So as you can see, you can refine it again in the washing. So your previous setups are all still going to be valid once you upgrade, and not every resource that you get out of ore sorting is going to be something you want to process heavily. Like in this case, like let's say you get you might want uranium out of this, and you have tons of copper. So what you might do is 4 times the uranium and only just smelt the copper, and you'll end up with more uranium than you have copper through just a single sorting. So that refining is similar to how Mechanism does refining, where you use your old setup essentially, and then the processing is it's kind of just a chain. It's not, I would say, not really based on anything. If anything, it's based on I want to say Multiblock 1, but I don't know if it really is. It's just kind of a chain, really. So I made this diagram for the current ore processing. Maybe help you visualize it a little better. So over here on the left is the processing. Now, typically when you do a processing, you might end up with a small amount of byproduct that's unable to be processed farther. And then you can go to the left to cash out into refining. So if you go to crushed ore, you can wash it for 2 and then smelt it, or you can just smelt it. If you have chunks, you can crumble it for 4, or wash it for 2, or just smelt it. And then it gets more complicated from there. Flotation, you can get lumps, mana compressor to 8x it, and then or 4x, or 2x, or 1x. Now, once you have the 8 ore bricks, you have to then crumble it at a 1-to-1, and then wash it at a 1-to-1, and then smelt it. So like I said, your setups are never obsolete, because you always need to do every step. Now, some steps are more expensive, like mana compressing. In that case, this is the 8x, and in that case, the refining chain recipe does 4-to-1. Or sorry, 4-to-4. So it's still 1-to-1, but you need to run less recipes. And it works that way for several different refining steps. This one here, like a lot of the ones that are just kind of 1-to-1, require a lot less, in this case, aura, than the regular 4 or 1-to-4 recipe. So there's roughly 1,000 immortite, or sorry, densite in this vein. So I probably won't be mining at all. This will be pretty much my supply of tin, silver, and aluminum when it comes to it. The other thing that different tiers of metal require is higher tiers of smelting. So if we look at this, first off, we would need to process it to at least this grade before it can be smelted. And then aluminum needs the foundry in order to turn it into regular aluminum or a higher tier. So the foundry is chapter 2, which makes sense because it's a tier 2 metal. Alright, my drill is out of fuel. Let's top that bad boy up. I probably won't do too much mining, or too much more mining here. Gotta get started on create. There's always so much tin and silver I need anyway. Norman the Scary has awakened. Looks like it's that witch, probably. So I moved down one of the waystones, so I didn't have to keep walking like a barbarian all the way over to my mine. Yeah, after, I should say before I started Multiblock Madness 2, or around that time, I talked to Carax and Jimmy Chow if they wanted to have a ore in the game, and they both said yes. So we've got Caraxium and Jimmium. So I heard multiplayer and Terralith are both broken in this update. That's fun. So I'm gonna have to fix that. I don't really know how I'm gonna end up fixing multiplayer, but Terralith is easy. The person who reported it. Oh, Discord's doing this weird thing where it just abbreviates the names. Like, that's just this morning. Like, what? Oh, streamer mode. I see, I see. That's cool. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, so that makes sense. But yeah, so the Terralith problem is relatively easy. It's just downgrade. However, the multiplayer, I have no clue at all. I'll smelt my grit. I might make a hopper for the grit situation. Oh yeah, and I made these coal chunks. It was surprisingly easy. I think I just did, where are you? Server scripts, startup scripts, new items. There's like mods and stuff that add them, but literally all it takes is this. Charcoal chunk, burn time. Charcoal chunk, burn time. And then I used some textures from the Paragon, who honestly has made a ton of the textures for this pack. Like pretty much every single one of these is from him. Anyway, so let's set up this hopper furnace real quick. So the goal is I kind of want to do ground level chest. So I'll do chest, hopper, furnace, hopper. I guess I don't need. Oh, yeah, I do. Chest. Boom. Smelt me some grits. Right. Hopper needs to be on top. So maybe I will do it in the ground. Because that is pretty dang tall. Sided machines, am I right? Alright. So I also noticed I recorded, or accidentally recorded, a long clip of me fighting some water, trying to build that stairway. It's kind of hilarious how much I struggled. No promises that won't happen again, but I'll definitely do my best. But yeah, knowing Terralith biomes didn't actually spawn makes a lot of sense, because this looks very vanilla. Not necessarily in a bad way, honestly. I kind of like it. It's very, very open and plain. But I do want to get Terralith working before I explore too much more. Maybe I'll even set up my base in a Terralith biome. Maybe I'll do that right now. I'm going to downgrade Terralith to 224. Thanks, nerds, for the tip on that. I'm kind of tempted to explore now. See if I can find some new biomes. I'm gonna do that. Oh, what are you doing? Don't shoot my sheep. That's not very nice. Rude. Alright, let's see what I can upgrade here. Key. What? Cannot upgrade. That's not very nice. That's fine. I'll just save my stats. Melons. Ooh, mini melons. That's cool. There's some more over there. I don't think I need to kill them necessarily. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go walking until I generate some new chunks. Maybe I'll find a waystone way out here and I won't have to walk back. Now that is more like it. Oops. Awkward. Hey, look where you're going. Yeah, so the cool thing about the Terralith biomes, I feel like a lot of them are like exposed stone. I can do this. Exposed stone like this. Which means that there's a lot of times some cool ores that just spawn like everywhere. And in the ore spawning settings, you can make it so that exposed ores get deleted sometimes. Which I actually have done in the Nether because it's literally all exposed stone. But in the overworld, if you find a nice big patch of open stone like this, ooh, some fluorite. Oh no, is that quartz? Like Certus quartz? If you find a nice big patch of open stone like this, usually you can find some real fancy ores. Well, that is not Certus quartz. Coriandrum. Ooh, this is so cool. So most like rare things like this, I haven't included in like the main game because the odds of you finding this are pretty low. Oh, this doesn't work underwater, that's right. So I pretty much am like, yeah, I'm not gonna make people have to find that to progress. Now, an optional upgrade, that's a different story. Because then it's like, oh, I found it, I can get underwater mining for my drill. Or something like that. Alright, yeah, here we go, look at this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love me some flat building area, but this is pretty cool too. Look at this. Ooh, a ship. Let's check that ship out. I think I'm gonna get this gold. Gold is actually a fairly rare spawn, so finding that much of it is pretty huge. Ooh, nickel. Nickel's actually a tier 2 metal in this patch. Onward. Hey, some appetite. I don't actually know if I've given this a use. I think you can do things with it, but not like new things. Let's see. Yeah, you can make Fido grow, and you can dissolve it into that, because that's useful. Just kidding, it's definitely not useful. I'm gonna dig up a little bit of this coal while I'm here. Oh yeah, the coal chunks. Slightly more than just those couple lines. I also had to add crafting recipes so that you could craft them into the chunks and then the chunks back into coal. And I also had to add a texture, obviously, but, you know, not that bad. Oh, that's a cool looking ship. Let me see if I can kill this Enderman too. That was easy. Oh yeah, and to answer your other question, Miles, it would basically depend on what mods are in 1.20. I don't think I would lose mods. Well, I wouldn't really lose mods because I wouldn't update unless all the mods are in. I mean, I guess I might update. Ooh, treasure map. Feathers, nice. I don't think I need the paper. But for me to ditch a mod, it would have to be a pretty mid mod, really. Oh, the jackpot. Yeah, so these gray pickaxes I can actually turn into where can I turn them into? Oh yeah, I can recycle them into scrap and then sort the scrap or sift the scrap for some netherite scrap. So it's actually like a really small chance of netherite or netherrack. No, not netherrack. Netherite. Netherite scraps. Because I think it gives you this stuff. And then if you sort it, or sorry, sift it, you can get debris scraps, which I think you just, yeah, melt into debris. Steel scraps, and then netherite scraps. Which you can't use this for a long time. New recipe. And then like straight up netherite scraps as well. So you're getting a couple of nuggets, some scraps, and also potentially some scraps. Alright. I gotta say, Terralith makes some epic looking biomes. Look at this. But at the same time, it's like how awesome does that look? But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not convinced to move. Although I will say, it's awesome. Ooh, some source berries. I think you need those. I'm not sure. I think you might have to find them. Oh, you eat them? You can. I think you can. Okay, mana regen. Cool. Interesting. I'm actually not sure if they're like super useful or not. Alright, I think I might be done exploring. I might turn on shaders. Honestly, I might ship shaders with the main pack, the base pack. We'll see. We'll see. Look at this. Some good stuff. Not that I need tin with all that densite. Look, a spawner. Silverfish spawner. That's not very pleasant. What are you doing? Easy. Alright, so the apotheosis spawners don't work, like the module is disabled. So that's what I pretty much the only thing I can do is break it. What the where's my oh. Yeah, so these spawner scraps. I think you can also make I think you can use spirit to do it. I don't know how you're supposed to get these. Honestly, I thought you got the broken spawner when you dug it up. Maybe I'm wrong. Some spawn eggs is fancy though. Maybe those are meant to be able to change spawners. It doesn't seem like many ores are allowed to spawn this high. Well, I guess I might be spoken too soon. But I don't know if this is a... No, yeah, no, there's definitely ores up here. Not many, but, you know. I should probably get this copper as well. Oh, hey, tin. Okay, well, I definitely spoke too soon. Look at all that gold. Yeah, so in the quest book, gold can spawn in iron and copper veins. Yeah, so how to read this. This is pretty much overworld ores, primarily tier 1s. And then here, primarily tier 2s besides gold in the nether. Tier 3s in the end, tier 4s on the moon, 5 Mar, 6, 7, 8. And then here's how you process it. So like, this is the tier 1 processing, crushed ores, or the F grade. Alright, I'm gonna head back home now. It'd be nice to have some sort of like parachute or something. Might harvest some seed while I'm here. wonder if I can vein mine seaweed. Oh. I'm also going to get some of this clay. And I should probably get sand as well. Although there's definitely sand by my base. Mining with a bar of gold. Classic. And I cruise in the water. What is going on? Oh, I think there was a dolphin swimming with me. That's awesome. This is kind of scary. Look at all those ores, though. Another gymium vein. Could probably bookmark this as well. Well, actually, I probably won't bookmark this. Yeah, I will. No, I probably don't need it. I'll probably never actually get it, but, you know. Limestone. I kind of want to make limestone flux again. Like I have it in the first multi-block madness. And I think I have it in Cosmic Chaos too, for what that's worth. Found myself a meteor. Let's see what is in it. Oh, yeah. Pretty much nothing. Nice. I mean, the diamond. Diamond is actually nice for early game upgrades. I think this is a Beyond Earth meteor, so it like just gives you a little bit of steel, pretty sure. Another vein. Caraxium this time. Definitely bookmarking this. Because yeah, that one's iron, so that's pretty huge. Look at this, isn't this cute? They spawn on top of each other sometimes. I think I can reduce the chance of that happening by lowering the amount of, like, chances for one of those to spawn. Like an individual sample. But, you know, it's kind of funny. Home sweet home. So alongside of sorting, you can also get exactly what you want with the mixer. So let's say you want like raw iron, you can oh, that needs to be fixed. You're supposed to be able to just get it. So we'll do a different one for example right now. So this is how you get raw lead. You use an ore catalyst with densite and potentium to get raw lead, and each tier of metal requires like the next tier of processing. So like for example, if we check crushed potentium, you can turn it into mithril. And then this can be smelted because it's an output. You can always smelt the outputs. All these are smelted. I did get the broken spawner. So I got spawner scrap and the broken spawner. This is interesting. This is a common ores blueprint. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't really made any custom capsules in this version yet. It looks like they've upgraded the mod a lot. Look at how epic this is. I even given it a glowstone. 3 glowstone. Snap. That's pretty awesome. Well, just gonna chuck that. I'll chuck it in here. Alright, so if I want to upgrade my backpack, I need this. However, I actually want it to require plates, so that you need to get the mechanical press. That's what you need for like every other upgrade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that happen. Alright, there we go. Now, I had to use a event custom here because it's not a normal recipe. It uses a backpack upgrade type. I'm guessing this is to keep the NBT by default. So I have to do invent custom rather than a simple replace input. But let's see if that worked. This time we don't have to do the reload client scripts line because it's not a, it's in the server files. So let's take a look. Let's wait till this is done. And there we go. Now I did forget to do require the iron backpack for the gold backpack upgrade. So I'll have to fix that real quick. So we're gonna say gold backpack. Now the backpack here, I think this needs to be the iron backpack. So we're gonna put this here. We're gonna save that. We're gonna reload. Come back in a second. There we go. Let's find out. Perfect. So iron backpack, gold backpack. Now they require plates, which requires you to get mechanical press. We'll add it to the changelog. Whoops. Not sure how that happened. I just realized a fatal flaw in farming these trees. They are absolutely massive, and Vein Miner is locked to 64 blocks. So, the nice thing is, once I have the trunks chopped, I should be able to just use kind of just some aerial acrobatics to get the rest. Just hop from one to the other. Well, that was a full episode of pretty much the same thing as the first. Me wandering around, exploring the world, doing a couple bug fixes. I did fix Terralith and fixed the create crushed tooltip bug. Hopefully I fixed the black screen on switching between Minecraft and Visual Studio Code. But yeah, so that's it for today. I'm hoping to be a little bit more focused in upcoming episodes, but you know, I'm kind of just gonna do my own thing, and hope you guys enjoy it. So, I might do a floor and walls next episode, but I mean that's might be asking a little too much. That might be too much. So we'll see. We'll see. Y'all have a good one.